Are you moving to the beat? Today, we are on motion and we're talking about heart rate rhythms, heart rate zones, and your beats per minute. So let me pull up the slides. I'm so excited for the app that I made. Oh my goodness, I made such a good app. And shout out to ChatGPT because ChatGPT is smarter. Now, when you learn how to use a real smart GPT, you can make some really cool apps. So thank you for joining me today on Total Transformation Secrets, the live Zoom. And for those on the replay, hey, so here we go. The move to the beat. We're going to learn how motion resets your inner clock. You know, we've been talking about rhythm and reset mastery all month. But this is Total Transformation Secrets webinar. Can you believe it? Webinar 36. Okay. I can't believe it. So here we go. Your body runs on rhythms. We've talked about circadian rhythms. We know that you've got a circadian rhythm in your brain that responds to light as well as other things. You got circadian rhythms in your gut. You got circadian rhythms in your bladder. You got circadian rhythms all over your body. But movement can definitely help to get your body in sync. And so I call movement the metronome. Now we know I gotta say the primary rhythm is set by light. And we talked about daylight last time, but and blue light. But if you're feeling midday slumps, you're feeling wired awake at night, your mornings are a little foggy. That was kind of me this morning, I have to admit. It may not be a willpower problem. It may be a rhythm problem. So what's setting your rhythm? So here we go. We're going to talk about the power of motion today. And motion is medicine for your body clocks. It tunes your sleep timing, your mood chemistry, your metabolic signals in your gut. Even 5 to 10 minutes of exercise snacks. Thank you. Shout out to Coach Judy. Can reset the beat. And so what we're going to discover today when we learn how to move to the beat is how motion resets your inner clock. We're going to learn the secrets of heart rate zones, of how it affects your mood, of your metabolic metronome, and I've got something about matching the beats to the outcomes that you want. And of course, there's a bonus gift at the end. So hopefully you could stay. So let's get to the secrets. Secret number 1. Zones equals results. But you have to train the right system. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, you could see from the hero image, we're talking about your heart rate primarily. And there's something called your maximum heart rate. And when we take your maximum heart rate and multiply it by a certain percentage, that gives us your heart rate zone. So there are 2 ways. I mean, I'm sure there are more, but there are 2 primary ways in the research where you can find your maximum heart rate. The first one, the easiest one, is you take the number 220 and subtract your age. And for me, my age is 65. So 220 minus 65 is 155. So my maximum heart rate, that's the maximum heart rate I should ever experience before the heart starts to short circuit, basically, is 155. Okay. Another way of calculating the maximum heart rate is You take 0.7 times your age in years. So for me, that was 0.7 times 65, so that's 45.5. And subtract that number, so that's inside the brackets, right? Subtract that number from 207, and I got 161.5. So somewhere for me, between 155 and 160, say 155 to 160, my maximum heart rate. The second way is more accurate, so that gives me a little bit more wiggle room. Now, once you get that number, your maximum heart rate, then you multiply it by some percentage, and usually that percentage is between 60% and 90%, and that's the zone that you want your heart rate to stay in while you're exercising. So for me, that would be somewhere between, from the top, somewhere between 93 and 108 beats. A little bit more from the bottom, 97 to 113 beats. So let's just say my maximum heart rate is around 100 beats, like 90 to 110, basically. All right. So those are the basics of how to calculate it. And I'm telling you that because we have to remember the two numbers, the maximum heart rate and then the percentage. So if you are working along with me, you take 220 minus your age, that's your maximum heart rate. Now let's look at those percentages. Let's look at the zones. So what happens in the zones? Well, you take the maximum heart rate and multiply it by those percentages on the left. So 50 to 60%, you're in the very light zone. 60 to 70%, you're in zone, that's zone 1, very light. 60 to 70%, you're in zone 2. Again, moderate, zone 3, 70 to 80, zone 4, 80 to 90, and zone 5, 90 to 100%. And you can see on the right some of the things that happen in those zones. So let's take just a written look at the zones. So zone 1, 50 to 60%, that's good for recovery, relaxation, and keeping you in your parasympathetic tone. You're not stressing, you're not triggering your cortisol at that level. Zone 2, 60 to 70% of your maximum. Now we're getting a little more into aerobics and fat oxidation, sleep support. This is an excellent zone for most of us to exercise in, especially if you're going to be exercising, we want the 30, but for fat burning, we want to be exercising at least an hour. And so an hour at zone 2 for fat oxidation is amazing. Zone 3, a little bit higher, a little bit more aerobic, and now you're going to be building your aerobic capacity. So we got some stamina going on. Zone 4, we're in more the performance or professional area. And then zone 5, again, the professional, you got to be careful with these zones. You want to use them sparingly. And zones 4 and 5 can definitely affect your sleep. All right, but that just gives you an idea of where we want to keep your heart rate when you are exercising. And so what are those exercises? We're going to talk about that too. Okay, so our action steps for secret number 1, pick a zone of the day. So most days you're going to be in zone 2, but maybe 1 or 2 times a week you bump it up to zone 3. If you are a performance athlete or you're a professional athlete and you are training, you want to use zone 4 and 5 very strategically, but also earlier in the day, because those two zones affect your sleep. So number one, stay in zone 2 or zone 1 for most of your physical activity. I'm speaking to most of us, right? Action step number 2, 10-minute zone check. So start each session with 2 to 3 minutes in zone 1. You know, that warm up. And there are many reasons to do that, but once you do the warm up, then you can get into your target zone. And your evening wind down, I kind of intimated that a little bit. You only want to be in zone 1 or zone 2. Think about your stroll, your just keeping mobile and doing some breath work while you walk. Okay, secret number 2. So secret number 1, your heart rate zones, that has a definite effect on the rhythms of your body. Secret number 2, the heart rate zones or your beats per minute, your motion have an effect on how you feel. And we've talked about the blood-brain, not the blood-brain barrier, the gut-brain connection and how that's a two-way street. But you have a gut, you could call it a gut muscle connection, right? Just getting moving, or a brain muscle connection. Just getting moving helps your mood. But how does that happen? Well, it happens through chemistry. So here we go. 10 to 20 minutes of zone 2, and that's bolded because we want to really focus on heart rate zone 2, or zone 3 exercise increases your dopamine and your serotonin. And for your brain, it calms you, it gives you clearer focus. Movement releases your endorphins. You've heard about long distance athletes hitting the wall and getting all these endorphins. It increases your BDNF, your brain neuroplastic chemical, which helps your brain to build and maintain, especially support cells for your neurons. But here's the turbocharged combo: natural sunlight and some motion. Sun and steps in the morning amplifies circadian alignment. That's when you're in sync, and it helps your mood. So what are your action steps for your mood? Well, you can make a little circuit, your mood circuit. So 1 minute brisk walk, and then a 1 minute easy walk, and do that 3 times. And you could do that anywhere, you could do that anytime, and that will help to reset your mood. You could do that in under 10 minutes. Okay. Remember our super secret duo, morning light and motion. 5 to 10 minutes outdoors within the first 60 minutes that you wake up. Amazing. And then your stress reset. When tension spikes, take a 5-minute walk in zone 2 before you hit send, right? Before you reply to that message that made you so upset. Just, take a minute, take a 5-minute walk, think about it, let your brain reset, focus, and then go back to your reply and hitting send. Anybody could relate to having to or wishing that you had taken a break before you hit that send button? Here's the secret. Secret number 3. Motion is your metabolic metronome. When we talk metabolism, a lot of times we're talking primarily about glucose control, glucose metabolism, glucose balance in the body. And movement can help to manage your glucose balance, especially when you're moving after a meal. So what does that 10-minute walk after your meal do? especially dinner. I think I say that on the next slide. It helps to blunt the spikes that happen when when you've taken in a lot of carbs, and not even a lot of carbs, but in a meal. When you've taken in a meal, you can have spikes, even if it's a lot of protein. But having movement blunts the spikes. You have fewer crashes, and you have fewer night waking, so you can sleep through the night better. Strength training 2 to 3 times a week. Ding, 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 ding. Anti-aging. So many beneficial properties, switching up your activity, but it also improves insulin sensitivity and your resting metabolism. So movement helps with your response to the glucose in your system, but also the response to your cells, the sensitivity of your cells to insulin. And then we don't always talk about this, but there's something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And that is the everything that you do when you're not focusing on exercise. But that gives you the way you do your non-exercise activities can give you a boost when you're burning calories and when you're getting your rhythm back on track. Now, this next slide, don't let it shock you, but you could take a screenshot if you want. But I just want to give you an idea of this NEAT business. So NEAT is all the calories you burn when you're not exercising. So that could be when you are walking. And so what's one of the strategies for that? Parking a little farther away from the door, taking the stairs versus the elevator, walking desks, a lot of different here's one that I never thought of. When you have groceries, carrying the groceries in 2 trips instead of 1. You want to be efficient and get them all in at the same time. But when you break it up into 2, you're getting some extra calorie burn. So you can and I love the gamification. The bottom right corner, you can just time yourself in taking a little exercise snack, a little break from your activity, and dance for a minute or but the important part is the last thing, which is to celebrate your micro wins. When you are using your body, when you're using motion to reset your rhythm. So action steps: walk 10 minutes after meals. Oh my goodness, so good for your metabolism, for your gut, for your glucose, especially dinner. Or I'll say your largest meal of the day. Okay. 2 strength days. So let's work full body, compound moves. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in the gym, but more than just walking, getting your other muscles involved. But a little strength training goes a long way for your motion, for your aging, for your metabolism, all the above. But here we go. Micro moves. So you could just take a break every hour for one of those exercise snacks. If you're counting steps, do some 250 steps, couple minutes of light activity each hour. Something else we do each hour, Coach Cindy Beyonce really loves this, is deep breathing, taking 3 deep diaphragmatic cleansing breaths every hour. Also, when you're working on a computer, every 20 minutes, look away from the screen. So just getting ourselves in rhythm is going to help, especially those going back to school or going back to work. Next week, some students are back in the classroom. Amazing. Okay, So those were the three secrets of uh, the heart rate variability, motion in your mood, and then motion in your metabolism. What's the bonus secret? Ooh, I wonder what it could be. I'm so excited. The bonus secret is matching the beats. So letting music guide your heart rate zone. So the tempo of music, beats per minute, helps you to stay on track and get into your heart rate zone. The slower beats of the music, they tend towards the calm, like the zone 1 and zone 2. Faster beats of music energize you. So you want to use those during the day. You don't want to use those in the evening, and zones 3 through 5. And when you compare what is your activity that you want to do, why are you doing it? What do I mean by that? It's different. It's a different goal if you're exercising to build muscle, or if you're exercising to lose fat, or if you're exercising for longevity. They're all different, or if you're exercising for performance, for training. They're all different goals. And then you want to, based on the goal and the activity, figure out the zone. We saw the chart earlier. Choose your beats per minute and go. So action steps. Pick your goal first. Is it to calm down, relax from the day, get ready for your night activities? Is it to focus? Is it to stop yourself before you hit send? Is it to get more energy? Is it to burn fat? Is it to support your sleep, your activity? Walking, jogging, cycling, strength circuit, the mood circuit, dancing. Use this guide. So we looked at the zones. Zone 1 is more ease and recovery. Zone 2 is more of a brisk walk. Zone 3, a light jog. Zone 4, more effort, right? And then zone 5, that's high intensity. But in the evening, you want to keep the beats per minute under 110, maybe under 100, so you don't stimulate your sympathetic nervous system. Okay, so we did a lot in a little bit of time, but thank you for being with me today. I'm Dr. Lisa Singletary, and I'm known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist because I've personally lost over 150 pounds. And through that journey, I have discovered, or I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, right? But I put this framework in my mind that helps to empower me, and it helps me to empower you. Those are the 5 M's of total transformation: mindset, macronutrients, micronutrients, motion, and measurement. We're talking motion today. And which is why I have on the blue shirt. I tried it. Here's the question. Which came first? My polo shirt wardrobe or my brand colors? Well, this shirt's kind of started it, but I try to stick with the pattern. We do 1M every Saturday, every month. But on months that only have 4 Saturdays, we combine them or combine 2 of them. And I try never to make the same combination more than once. So that keeps it interesting. But some of you might not know, I am a medical doctor. I'm a family practice physician, but I've retired. I have a master's degree in public health, which is why I love digging into those research studies and squeezing out the juice. I'm privileged to be a certified holistic health coach. I'm passionate about empowering transformation, which is one reason why the butterflies, right? And I'm passionate about helping you achieve your health goals. Now, I was all about the motion back in my ballroom dancing days, and I I think I'm still reaping the benefits of my ballroom dancing, even though I had to give it up in 2008 to go home and take care of my parents. And 8 years later, when they both transitioned in 2016, I needed my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. I needed a miracle. And I love this slide just because I used to teach physics too. So, but this is also my disclaimer slide because in health and wellness, we do not talk about miracles, right? So, my disclaimer, I'm not diagnosing, treating, curing, or healing any medical diseases. This is not a medical consultation. This is not a second opinion. Your insurance company is not going to pay for me. But I am telling you my personal experience as well as my medical knowledge and my experiences with patients and with the research that, or the knowledge I gleaned from the research. And I'm going to tell you again, I needed a miracle. And when I turned 60, so that was 5 years ago, I decided to track my weight through the years. And I was astounded at the picture of the trajectory of my weight. And just for a brief period of time in there, I took a weight loss drug in the middle there. You could see that dip. But when I stopped the weight loss drug, due to side effects mostly, it was just like I never took it, right? It was just like I'd never lost that weight. So, um, but something happened at letter B. Something happened when I learned how to go from the picture on the left to the picture in the middle to the picture on the right and to my continuing journey to optimal wellness. So, how did I do it? Bonus secret number 2, Nutrify deeply. I learned how to give my body what it needs. And when you give your body what it needs, it will do amazing things. So for this secret, the key points are this. Nutritional completeness supports your metabolic rhythms. In the place of metabolic, you could put circadian. You can put all the rhythms of the body. When you're nutritionally complete, it helps the rhythms. When you're missing nutrients, you can experience fatigue, cravings, metabolic slowdown, and you can just feel out of sync. Hey, Blue Phoenix. I missed the Blue Phoenix, so I indulge myself by keeping that one there. But here's the secret. Rise from within, the nutrition blueprint for rhythm mastery. And my blueprint is the 5 steps to nutritional completeness. Step number 1, avoid the bad foods. Step number 2, get all 90 essential nutrients. You know what? After each step, I'm going to start saying there's an app for that. So to avoid the bad foods, we have the 21-day bad food challenge app for the 90 essential nutrients. Step number 3, antioxidants, adaptogens, anti-inflammatories, helping your body deal with this toxic environmental soup that we are in, internally and externally. Step number 4, taking care of the gut. We need a healthy gut lining. We need a healthy gut microbiome and all the organs of the gut. And step number 5, now we're in wellness wonderland. Your brain support, your thyroid support, your joint support, your red light therapy, your Reiki, your massage therapy, your music therapy, prayer, all the different modalities that we have for health and wellness. I mean, it's like a smorgasbord in front of us. But we have to build whatever we choose from Wellness Wonderland on the foundation of the first 4 steps. And step number 2, just to focus on that word essential. Essential means you don't, essential means you need it, your body needs it, your cells need it. These essential nutrients are needed every day. But essential also means your body doesn't make it. There's no way to get these nutrients without eating, and hopefully there's nutrition in the food, less and less, right? Or without strategically supplementing. And that's the importance of taking a good supplement on a daily basis. So what are the action steps? Secure your supplement foundation and start with the minerals. 60 out of the 90 essential nutrients are minerals. And when you start counting the minerals on most of the bottles of the vitamin aisle, you're not going to find any. I mean, you're lucky if you can get up to 20. So be very, very diligent with getting your minerals. And we're on a journey to optimal wellness, but we need to know where we're starting. We need to know some guide points along the way. How do we do that? We take a health survey, whether it's the health evaluation in the health hub or a wellness selfie scan, using the high tech method. You need to find out where you are and where your body needs support. Okay, so pull out your phones, turn on your cameras, and you can take, you can scan these QR codes. On the left is the is the health hub health evaluation, and you can find that if you are listening at drlisasingletary.online/health hub, but put a dash in there, health-hub or hyphen. And on the right is the QR code for the wellness selfie, which is our 30-second smartphone facial scan. And it's not taking a pretty picture. It's looking underneath the skin at the blood flow patterns in your face. And it could tell so much about your wellness and how to support it. Okay, so what did we discover today? Heart rate zones target specific outcomes, so we can use them like a sword with intention. Motion can change your mood. Motion changes your mood chemistry fast. Tiny doses count. Movement is a metabolic metronome. Post-meal walks are gold. The music tempo can steer your intensity and help protect your sleep. And nutritional completeness powers your performance and your recovery. So what was your big takeaway? Tell us in the chat. Which one of those non-exercise activities are you going to bump up? You used to park farther away in the parking lot, didn't you? And then you said, oh, I can park here. But maybe you're going to park a little farther away. Get in a few extra steps. And I really did mean to put gardening on the list because we have some gardeners in here today. Man, you get some nice exercise with gardening as well as your grounding with the earth. You're getting the sunlight. You add the music. Wow, you've got it all working for you. How much time are you going to spend in heart rate zone 2 for your walk after dinner or your noon walk or your morning walk? All right. So, I forgot. Okay, here we go. So I made an app. ChatGPT helped me a lot, but it's a zone. I call it, the app is called Beat Match. So it's going to match your goal, your activity. It's going to put your age in there, and it's going to help you to create keywords for your playlist. So when you get the keywords, so when you put in your information, and it says, I can't see. Hold on, I gotta move this. Generate plan, right? It'll give you a workout music plan, and you can choose your music. So here it is. Enough talking. Let me show it to you. I'm trying to get the controls. Nope. Maybe I can do it over here. There we go. Woo. All right. Woo. Okay. So we got another QR code. Move to the beat. It's drlisasingletary.online/beat match. That's beat hyphen match, because it's matching your workout music to your goals. And then you can take those keywords and put them into Spotify, or do they still have Pandora? Man, I had my Pandora 70s music channel trained. That was the first time I trained in AI knowingly, right? Doing that Pandora playlist. But you can put these keywords into any, or just into Google, and you can start finding your playlist for the beat, for your workout. Okay, now you're here live with me and I love it, but if you're on the replay, if you're in the premiere, hey, but maybe you found me another way. Maybe someone shared the link or whatever. You are invited to get the direct link to the Zoom to actually register. And we're here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can register at drlisasingletary.online/live Zoom. I love it when you're here live with me. That's live hyphen Zoom, or you can scan that QR code. And those of you who want to see what it looks like on YouTube, well, at 9 o'clock tonight, the first premiere viewing will be on YouTube, and I'll be in there live in the chat. So it's going to be a replay of this call. And of course, tonight we'll be watching, and I'm saying these words, and it's, as Aaron Fletcher would say, it's a little meta, but I welcome you all to come back for the watch party. We have a lot of fun. So my YouTube channel is at Dr. Lisa Singletary. Please visit, like, subscribe, look around. And when I get the watch party video, I will put that into the Facebook. When I get the YouTube video link, I'll amend my Facebook post announcing exactly how to get to that video. Alrighty. Well, that's how we're moving to the beat. I'm glad you're all here moving to the beat with me. I'm Dr. Lisa Singletary. Those of you here live, don't go anywhere. We're going to do our little class picture. Get ready to turn your cameras on. We'll have a little Q&A. And I just love that you're here. Thank you. Those of you who are on the replay, I will see you next. Oh, so Coach Cindy, yes, you love this. I love you. Gardening and the music with the sun, praise dancing at church and at home. Amen. Thank you. I couldn't see the chat while I was doing the actual presentation. So I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and anytime after that on YouTube. Thank you for being here with me today live. I love you all. Mwah.